Hello, and thank you for joining me for Ask Gardener Lynn. Our question today comes from Sonia. She lives in Zone 8B, and her question is chicken manure good for the compost pile? So Sonia, this is a really great question. You know, chicken manure is great for the compost pile. It is mostly nitrogen, so you'll want to add some carbon to offset it, like sawdust, leaves, and dried grasses. So to make a great compost pile, it needs 5 basic ingredients. All right, number 1, it needs a source of carbon. This is called the brown stuff, which includes dried grass, hay, shredded newspaper, dried leaves, and sawdust. You know, leaves are great because they'll add trace minerals, otherwise known as flavor, from deep in the ground. So do not add the leaves of black walnut, magnolia, hemlock, eucalyptus, juniper, pine, or oleander. So they're not so good for the compost pile. The carbon material is food for the good fungi that's going to help break down the material in the compost pile. All right, number 2, compost needs a source of nitrogen. This includes kitchen scraps, fresh grass clippings, fresh plant scraps, and manures. So the nitrogen, or the green ingredients, are the food for the good bacteria. Now, the manure of cats and dogs can be harmful to humans if composted, so you want to go ahead and leave those out. Eggshells are great too. They add calcium, and coffee grounds are fine. They are a good source of nitrogen as well. Okay, number 3, compost needs adequate moisture. So not too wet, not too dry. So the way to test this is you just grab up a handful, and if you can squeeze it and only get a drop of water out, then it's just right. Now if you squeeze it and you get a lot of water out, it's too wet. And if you get no water out when you squeeze it, then you need to add some water. All right, number 4, compost needs oxygen for the good microbes to breathe. So what we're going to do is stir the pile to get that oxygen in there. And before we get to number 5, if you have a question that you would like answered, go ahead and send us an email. The link for that email is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to learn how to grow $2,500 worth of organic produce in 128 square feet with only a 15-minute-a-day commitment, then go ahead and sign up for the High Performance Garden Show. It's free, it's online. You can find it at thelivingfarm.org/high-performance-garden-show. So you can sign up there, and there's also a link below the video where you can grab that. Okay, number 5. So number 5, it's best to add a compost starter which has the microbes in it to inoculate your new pile. You can buy a commercially made starter, which might be a really good idea for the first batch. And then after that, you can use some of your already finished compost to activate the next pile. So lack of water and oxygen are the main reasons why people fail to make compost. So be sure you have the proper moisture and stir the pile twice a week. The smaller you chop the ingredients, the faster it will compost. So try to get a good balance of carbon to nitrogen to kitchen scraps. And then add water and stir to get enough air. So put the carbon, nitrogen, and kitchen waste, put them in there in layers, and always cover the kitchen scraps to keep all the critters out.